We just made it to Glasgow and it's so cold.
At COP26. We're here in Glasgow with Anita, one of our closest partners and friends.
So thank you for supporting our campaign. Look, there's a planet just above. Hi everyone, so I'm on a beautiful hill on the top of Edinburgh after a very busy day. We took the train at 7 a.m. today to make it to Scotland. And I'll tell you in a second why we're in Edinburgh and not in Glasgow. But first I wanted to tell you a bit about COP26, what it means, and discuss whether it's important or not. So the COP is basically a climate conference where all states come together and discuss how to mitigate the worst impacts of climate change. It was created after 1992 when there was a UN Climate Framework Convention that took place, based at mitigating the worst impacts of climate change. Last year's COP26 was delayed because of the pandemic. And so it's taking place this year in Glasgow, and it's really important because it's the one moment where the eyes of the entire world are on world leaders, their commitments, whether they're talking and acting or just talking, and how we might get out of this climate crisis. And this year's COP is fundamental because the aim of the COP is to keep the 1.5 degree alive. What this means is that we need to keep global emissions and as a result the rising temperature below 1.5 degrees Celsius. And it's not happening. It's estimated that we are heading towards a 2.7 degrees increase in temperatures. And this is why you have right now so much attention on COP26, on activists that are flying from all over the world, politicians, the media, and even companies that are coming here because it is the moment to resurrect the 1.5 degrees. And you have a lot of issues with COP, and I'm getting to why I'm here on this beautiful hill in Edinburgh and not in Glasgow. So the COP26 is not accessible, not inclusive, and just crazy expensive. To give you an idea, a really bad room, for a week in Glasgow right now is above £3,000. For one night, it's in the hundreds. So I just simply couldn't afford to sleep one night in Glasgow to be able to attend it. So I came to Edinburgh, and I'll take the 6 a.m. train with Andrea tomorrow to Glasgow.
5 a.m. on the way to Glasgow.
We just made it to Glasgow, and it's so cold.
We are in Glasgow, we are heading towards COP26. Yesterday though, in Rome, the G20 group, the 20 biggest economies on this planet, could not agree to take meaningful climate action. What does it mean? That they could not agree to go to a net zero emission situation by 2050. They could not set a date, and this is incredibly shocking. So I believe that the COP26 more will happen, but we start from a very shaky ground.
So we are here at COP. We made it.
And the main reason why we are here is that we are launching a campaign demanding world governments to ban fossil fuel subsidies. Yes, you heard it right. There are still trillions of dollars channeled by governments in supporting coal, oil, gas, and many other industries that are extremely harmful for our planet.
What's insane is that fossil fuels represent 89% of CO2 emissions. 89% is a huge amount of CO2 emissions. And if we were to cut subsidies for this industry, a third of emissions would go down. So it's actually completely feasible. But instead, subsidies are expected to go up by 2025, a few other trillions. So what we're doing is we launched a global petition targeted at G20 and COP26 leaders, telling them to stop financing fossil fuel subsidies. But we won't stop there because this is about awareness raising. We know that often it stops there. So what's next?
So next, after this campaign, we're actually going to go national. We're going to target different national governments all over the planet, starting from the US, Italy, and Australia, where we already have teams actually implementing the campaign. But the ambition is to be at least in every G20 country. So all the biggest economies on this planet should have a running campaign to stop fossil fuel subsidies before it's too late. We are doing it for us, we're doing it for you, and we are doing it for this big thing behind us. So please support our campaign, be part of this change, and do your best for a better future for our planet.
So let's ban fossil fuel subsidies. Hi everyone, so we just got out of COP, absolutely dead, the whole day walking around. It's been very, very intense. We met quite a few people. We met Senator Hanson Young. We met Anita Sonia from Kenya. We met Clover Hogan. We met Kevin from Kenya. We met a lot of people from all over the world.
And I think it was a very, very interesting experience. It's so weird to think that the people in this building might choose the destiny of our planet.
Yeah.
I hope they're going to choose well or not. I must say that at the end of the 2 weeks, I really hope we're going to see something significant, because so far there's a lot of activities, a lot of energy, but I don't see any big commitment or big announcement, and that's really, really worrisome.
Yeah, the first day was mainly heads of state to address, and from what I've read and seen so far, it's been very, very, very empty statements. So we need to think of future generations, we need to stop climate change, done.
We need to fight for our future.
Yeah, but we need to do it with more concrete actions, such as banning fossil fuel subsidies, because that's the way to go. That's the way to cut down some of the biggest emissions in the world, and other concrete actions, not just empty words. And apart from this, other stuff that we learned, COP was badly organized, apparently the worst organized that it's ever been, according to what activists we met, and journalists and so on. A lot of people said that their accommodations got cancelled last minute. They couldn't come at the end because of it, because they couldn't find a place to sleep. We queued for hours to get in, and could only come in late.
And actually, I think it was a very symbolic moment. The main flag of the venue was ripped off by the wind. It was really impressive, and I think that's a bit of a sign. Like I don't think that they organized it properly. I think after 2 years they could not pull off like a better event. But whatever. The important part is the content. It wasn't a great experience, but what we really care about is what's going to come out of it.
But it does matter, right? Because we couldn't afford to stay more than a day, and already it was very expensive. And a lot of people had to drop it last minute because their accommodation got cancelled, which means that, for example, you have theoretically, in terms of delegates, a lot of diversity and representation from all over the world. It's supposed to be equitably distributed, but people couldn't actually make it. A lot of people couldn't come. And this means that some voices are getting sidelined.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree that on the financial side actually matters a lot. While my personal experience is negligible, it's actually very sad that, for example, the two of us had to go back because we could not afford, our organization could not afford a week here, and that's very telling. And there are many organizations from all over the planet where actually the cost of living is lower, that could not even dream to fly or send people here. So that's something that we definitely need to address for the next COP. Hoping that in Egypt in 2022 we're going to do better for the planet.